Now, the cover 3 double cloud or the inverted cover 3 is getting a ton of traction within the MCS, and we're going to break this down. On this screen, you can see all the formations that you can use the double cloud cover 3 or the inverted cover 3. But for simplicity's sake, we're going to be using the big nickel over G. Now, if you want to use nickel over, you do need to go and manually sub in every single one of these players. So, for example, if I wanted to go ahead and run this, I'd have to take Smith out, and then I have to put Smith back in, and I'd have to do that for everything. The package for nickel over is going to be called FS1 inside. Now, big nickel, again, for simplicity's sake, is the formation we're going to be using, and we're going to go into cover 2, also known as Tampa 2. It's really simple, but it does take some time to get down. Now, we're going to go ahead and take Walker, and we're going to drop him into inside third. Now, with big nickel over G, if you use the slot CB package, you won't be able to do the following. You will not be able to put Y and A or your safeties into outside thirds. Essentially, when you run the slot CB package, it's just like a regular coverage behind it. You can only put them in deep halves and inside quarters and hook curls as well. So in order to run this, you need to keep packages as packages. So we're going to go ahead and put Y into an outside third to the left and A into an outside third to the right. This is a very popular shell you're going to see a lot of professional players use. And the reason this is so efficient is because of these vert hooks. A lot of people, when they think cover 3, they're like, okay, let's go trips tight end and run verticals and just hit you in the seams again and again and again. And you cannot do that because these vert hooks will play those seams long enough to pass them off to either the inside or the outside third. That is what makes it so good. Now, as far as using against gun bunch, when I'm running this formation, I like to use the weak side or the running back side in bunch because I'm going to go ahead and let that vert hook do work. Later in this video, we'll be talking about a different shell you can run out of this, very similar, but with a couple more adjustments in the back end. Now, when it comes to mesh post, there's a lot of different ways people like to run it. We're going to stick to the classic one, and that's just put RB on a slant and out route X, and then they take this guy and motion him over. It's pretty simple. From here, we're going to work our way from the running back to the slant receiver, pass him off to the slant receiver, and if they try to throw that post route, that is why we have that inside third right there to play the post route. This is how you can play some lockdown defense while throwing your opponents off, thinking you're playing Tampa 2, when in reality you're playing cover 3. Now, over in the Madden Mastermind Discord server, I have a gun bunch defensive ebook. If you're facing West Coast, Pittsburgh, or Washington, and you're struggling to stop all these different corner outs and these crossers in these playbook, become a member today and learn how to play some lockdown defense and put your opponent in a complete bag. Now, the next setup, I talked about this one being a little bit more hands-on. It is, but practice it. It's well worth it. With these vert hooks on the field, they're going to play these seams really well. But what we're going to do instead this time, we're going to rotate it basically into a true cover 3 with hook curls. First, we're going to take our LB corner, which in this case is going to be a safety, and we're going to put him into a middle third. Again, notice how we can put him into an outside third, left and right, deep half left and right, and middle third. You can't do that if you have him in the slot CB package because it's an actual corner. So for now, we're going to take LB, put him into a middle third, and then take Y outside third, A outside third, again to their corresponding sides of the field. And then to get hook curls out there, you're gonna blitz all linebackers. That's right on the D-pad, down on the right stick, and then you're gonna re-zone them. It's critical that you do this. So you're gonna go right on the D-pad, up on the right stick, and now we are running essentially a true cover 3 with hook curls on the field. But what makes this so good is you have cloud flats still on both sides. Like shallow corner routes, we'll talk about stick later on. They will not get open if you understand how a cloud flat plays in Madden 23. Now, the reason we do this kind of adjustment is, again, let's go ahead and run the same route combination. It's going to help out tremendously with taking away the middle part of the field. So again, this is what a lot of people like to run. It's really, really basic. You motion them over. With this, we have to guard the running back because a vert hook is not going to play unless you want to take a guy and man him up. You're going to have to guard the wheel route yourself long enough to pass it off to the outside third, and then again, work your way back into the middle of the field. This is where you want to start utilizing zone drops, and more so just having safeties in at the linebacker position for high zone coverage. So we'll snap the ball, we'll play this guy, play the wheel route, and then work our way back to the middle of the field. And by then, more likely your sheds are going to get home, and especially as you work in this blitz against those guys that like to send 5 out. Now, there's one more part I did not include until now, and that is to pinch press everybody. So if you've been watching thus far, good, because you're getting a very important piece. You want to do this every single time. Every single time, because you want to give them the same exact shell. You don't want to give them any looks, because if you do this and you're just sending a blitz whenever you do this, they're going to pick up on that. A good player will say, okay, when he pinch presses everybody and maybe even mugs the gap, there's a blitz coming and we're going to go and block my running back and we're going to pick it up and dot you up. You have to give them the same look. So again, we're going to go and back off X and B. That is YAX up on the right stick, YAB up on the right stick. It's all corresponding to the DBs that are lined up to those receivers. So if we will go ahead and press B, you notice how this guy is lined up to number 83. If you were to go ahead YAB again, because that's the corner manned up or man aligned to him in a sense, you'd back him off. That's how you do that. Again, same with X. YAX, Jair is lined up to him. He presses. YAX up on the right stick. He backs off. Really, really simple. Now, we are going to stick to this true cover 3 right here, but we're going to mix it up just a little bit. We're going to go ahead and put A this time into an inside third, and again, rotate these guys into outside thirds, and then we're going to take LB and blitz him off of the edge. Again, you want to give this same look. So if you're mugging the gap, you don't want to just do it every time you're going to send the blitz, otherwise they're going to pick up on it. You want to give them the same exact look every single time. Now, as far as where to stand, that doesn't matter whatsoever. You just want to hover, and you want to blitz your user, because in practice mode it's kind of weird. And if they're to go ahead and send 5 out, you're going to get pressure off of the edge. Again, it's just one of those blitzes that you want to mix in. What we're going to do, because we're sending the slot corner off of the edge, I like to use her bunch side if I plan on sending a blitz, and that is a little tail right there. So again, you got to kind of work this in, but I like to work bunch side just in case there's a hitch. Like if they're running a concept or a combo like this, you can take away the immediate hitch route and the flat route all in one full sweep. So let's go ahead, do this little glitch right here. Okay, you guys can learn about this in Meister Madden. You work your way down to the flats and work your way back into the middle of the field and pick it off. Now, of course, you could have the flats open and you would adjust out of that, but this is the basic coverage shell behind it. To end this, I want to talk about a specific play, and that is stick. This defense is so incredibly good against the play stick that I don't know why you're not incorporating it. Now, with stick, I talked about how you don't want to press. In this situation, you actually do. If you don't press, I'll show you guys what happens if you don't press. This corner out generally is going to get outside leverage. Well, right there, we threw it to the wrong player. That corner out is going to get outside leverage and underneath that cloud flat. So if we were to go ahead and say we backed him off, right? We pressed, we backed him off. This corner out is shallow enough to where generally it can get underneath cloud flats. Again, you can see right there what I'm talking about. With a good, actual, accurate pass, it's going to get underneath cloud flat. So again, if we pinch press everybody, again, I like to go ahead and bracket C routes on that side of the field. So we'll go ahead and run this cover 3 like we've been running with a flat, LB into an inside third, and something like this. When you press your cloud flat and we streak RB, don't worry, the inside third is going to play long enough to pass it off to the outside third. What we're going to essentially do is take away that corner out altogether. Remember, last time it was wide open. This time, even with a free form, if you click on right there, you're going to be able to make a play. But because I'm trying to pass lead, I can't exactly click on at the same time. And that corner, he just ain't that great whatsoever. Z-spot, when they run on the short side, they do not have to motion out this receiver, because this receiver, regardless of what you do, is going to clear out the outside third. It does not matter. So again, we're going to go ahead and run this cover 3 like this in this situation. We're going to go ahead and again pinch press everybody. That should be your very first thing that you do, just so you can give them the same look and possible outcome of sending a blitz. So they're going to go ahead and maybe run it like this, just in case they think they're going to send blitz at them. Just have a little quick check down. And right here, you'll find that even though we have a streak route, the streak route is going to clear out the outside third. Corner out is going to be wide open for a huge chunk of yards and a drop ball, of course. But there's a big difference when we run Z-spot to the wide side of the field. I'm sorry this is going to be a little bit longer of a video, but it's important that you understand this. So if we run this cover 3 with bunch to the wide side of the field, we don't have to worry about that. Again, we want to go pinch press everybody to give them the same look. We do not have to worry about the corner out, and especially in MUT when you guys have better zone players and faster players, this corner out is going to be bagged. So again, let's go ahead and just run it like this. Keep it as simple as possible. you'll find the corner out is going to get played by the outside third a lot better in MUT than it is in regs, especially if you have a deep out zone KO. A deep out zone KO, if they get the hands on the ball carrier or the catcher or the receiver, he's going to knock it out 9 times out of 10. This is kind of where regs can get a little bit more difficult because you guys lack the abilities to make the game balanced. Now, of course, with the Bucks, we are running basically a God squad as is. So if you guys are new to the channel, of course, be sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you want more detailed breakdowns of the West Coast gun bunch and how you can defend it, become a part of the Madden Mastermind Discord server for $9.95 per month, and we will catch you guys in the next one.
Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range, 'cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain.